If you've been paying attention to the housing market lately, you might feel like something is changing, even if the headlines don't quite say it yet. I'm not talking about bidding wars or prices exploding again. I'm talking about a shift in mindset and consumer confidence. More people are starting to look again. I'm having more conversations with buyers. And as we head into spring, both buyers and sellers are quietly re-engaging, just in a very different way than we've seen in the past. For the last couple of years, hesitation has been the dominant emotion in real estate. I'm sure you can relate. Rates increased fast. Prices felt uncertain at best. And for a lot of people, the safest thing to do was nothing at all. But that hesitation didn't mean that people stopped caring about housing. It just meant they hit pause. They played wait and see. And this isn't realtor talk for it's a great time to buy now, I promise. But this is the sense I'm getting from conversations I'm having. But what changed? Well, interest rates are steady for the first time in a while. They're no longer rising or falling every few months, and they'll likely stay like that for the rest of the year. Prices have stopped swinging wildly, and expectations, especially from sellers, are becoming more realistic. This combination has created something we haven't seen in quite a while: calmness. And it feels good. It's bringing a clarity back to the market, and clarity is what brings people back in a real way, not the hype that can be fleeting. Buyers aren't rushing in by any means. Don't get that twisted. But they're watching, and they've been watching for a while, and now they're asking more questions and trying to understand what makes sense for them before making any decisions. And that's the way it should be. And again, this isn't the buy now or be priced out forever market. Buyers can come back in now and be cautious, but intentional. You can look for the value that you want, and you have the luxury of time on your side. And I know a lot of people are focused on monthly costs and not trying to max out their pre-approval. And you know what else? If something doesn't feel right, you can walk away. Again, this is all the way it should be done. This is a healthier mindset than we've seen in years. What we've seen in the past was not sustainable, nor was it enjoyable for most people, save a few sellers who made out like bandits in the gold rush. But the chickens have come home to roost, and the current sellers are now paying the karmic price. But at least they're coming to grips with the realities of this market, because homes that are priced realistically are still moving. They have been this whole time. The ones that aren't, sit. Period. This tells you the market isn't frozen. It hasn't crashed. It's just being an active free market that fluctuates. Will prices continue to slide? And I say slide as opposed to plummeted, which some people said they would and others wish they had. Yes, it's possible, but how much? I don't know. I do think 2026 will continue the correction we've been seeing, but at some point there will be a bottom. And it may stay flat for a while. But do we have 20, 30, 50% more to go down like some of my commenters say? I truly don't think so. Just remember, very few people can time the bottom of a market, and I don't recommend trying. Why does all this matter? Well, spring tends to bring more energy back into the market. But like I said, people aren't necessarily jumping back in. There is some pent-up demand, but I don't think we're necessarily going to see the same traditional spring market that we do usually. But that doesn't mean that there's not going to be more activity. Because yes, I don't think we're going to see price increases in 2026, but I do think we're going to see an increase in number of sales. Because like I said, buyers are now asking questions. What can I afford comfortably? What kind of move can I do to improve my lifestyle? And what mistakes should I be avoiding? These are good questions to ask. And now's the time to do so because the spring market comes upon us quickly. And look, if you're not ready to make a move right now, you're still not comfortable buying or selling, you want to wait to see how things turn out, that's fine. This isn't about rushing or creating urgency. And I'm not telling you you should do anything. This is for those who've been waiting and watching and thinking about doing something this year. This is the time to start paying attention again, to understand what's changed so that you're not making decisions blindly later. So over the next few videos, I'm going to walk you through how to think about buying and selling in this market. No pressure at all, but if I can be of any help, feel free to book a call. There's a link below, even if it's just to pick my brain. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.